Glaciate Kyurem got added into the game, and now we can take a look on how good this Pokemon is going to be in the Open Ultra League. And yeah, hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at Kyurem with Glaciate in the Ultra League. I can even really say the name Glaciate, I don't know. But yeah, this move is very cool. If you didn't see my video about this move before and how good this Pokemon is going to be with this move, definitely check that out. It's not going to be good, like at least not crazy good in the Ultra League, which you're going to have to take a look at today. But if you didn't see, this Pokemon is now ranked 4 on PvPoke for the Master League. So if you're like a Master League player, then you might want to get a hundo for it and the enough XL candies for it, because it seems to be a very strong Pokemon to use for that league, and I definitely can see why. This Pokemon now is really spammy with 2 different kind of moves to charge at the opponent, which will be very strong, especially like in 2-shot scenario. Having Dragon Breath plus a Dragon Claw plus now Glaciate will be very good. If you didn't know, Glaciate is a clone of Icy Wind, but with 5 less energy. So it does the same amount of damage, still debuffs the opponent's attack by 1 stage, but does need 5 less energy, which makes this move not broken at all, but makes it really cool. We can see it here against Nidoqueen, going to be able to debuff the opponent's attack, which makes this matchup against Escavalier a little bit better, and we're going to be able to win this one. Next opponent here going to be a little bit tricky. Virizion going to be something that I cannot really beat with my Pokemon in the back there with the Kyurem. Kyurem's biggest issue, I think, is though that it has basically a ton of different typings that you don't really want to face. It's weak to Rock, Fairy, Fighting, and Steel, and all the different kind of types. Like there's so much it's weak to against other dragons, of course, as well. So it's not going to be having the best typing here, but we can still take a look at what it can do. Here we get just Hard Wall, to be fair. Like there is nothing I can do with my Giratina against the opponent's Aurorus. Actually, fun fact, you're going to see one battle of Giratina in there with the move Ancient Power. This was the first battle that I did. I don't know when it's going to come up. But afterwards, I swapped to the move, what's it called? Shadow Force? Shadow Force, just to be a little bit funny. And I can definitely tell you, Shadow Force did come in clutch a lot of times. It was funny to use, but it is like a lot of times, like the first game basically I had after I changed it towards Shadow Force instead of the Ancient Power, I encountered immediately as a Say-Swap a Charizard against me. So I would have really wanted to have Ancient Power, and the first match that I played where I didn't have the move Ancient Power, I had got hard-walled by a Steel type. So for Giratina, there's basically no right or wrong. Like either you're going to run the move Ancient Power or you're going to run the move like either of the Ghost type moves to just have a little bit more of a better matchup against Steel types. I opted to go for something better against Steel types because my Steel type answers on Elite, and if I say swap my Giratina in this team, I'm hopefully gonna get out the potential Steel type. Here we're going to see a Scrafty where we can go ahead and go for 1 Drillbone, gonna get them low, and we can actually knock them out at the same time as we get knocked out. As we face off now against the Cresselia, they are running Confusion, which really confuses me because it's not really something that you want to run on Cresselia. And this allows me now to go ahead, take this Future Sight, go for 1 Shadow Force coming through here. You're going to room through them, bye, and we're gonna get them so low that we can just farm them all the way down. So Shadow Force is a funny move, I actually like it, but it's also sometimes not the best. We see a very good lead for me. I see Cresselia coming in. I should have most likely swapped out already, but I kind of know that I can take any move here. I can get either a shield or get them super low, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do here. I should have most likely already swapped out at this point of time after like throwing the Mega Horn. Just don't really keep energy, but I kind of want to keep energy, and I will be able to catch the move on my Giratina, going to be a Moonblast, and I will still survive another one as I will be able to farm them all the way down. This allows me now to also go for some Dragon Claws against the incoming Pokemon. I should have actually went for Dragon Claw against the Giratina, against the Cresselia there, I think, and kept my Giratina at a little bit of a higher health. I think this would have helped me a little bit more because I could have got more damage on the opponent here as well, because they still would need 2 Night Slashes to knock me, so maybe better. We see Trevenant coming in here. We're going to go ahead and go for the bait first with a Drill Run, and it can swap into our Kyurem. Let's see what Kyurem can do here in this matchup. We will see that we can shield up this move, going to be most likely a bait, and it's going to be a bait because we still have 2 shields left, but Glaciate won't be a bait, and I don't know if the opponent knows about this move. I guess they don't know yet, but now they're definitely going to know about it, else we're going to be able to knock them out, and we can go for another Glaciate against the incoming what's called Obstagoon there. Gonna get the debuff again, and this will will allow us to still reach another Dragonclaw, and Kyurem just swept its opponent completely, destroying Obstagoon and also destroying the opponent's Trevenant at the same time. Very, very cool. Next opponent, we see Tapu Fini in the lead. This was the main Pokemon that I was worried about. Because you see my team, I have 2 Dragons and a Pokemon in the lead that uses Counter as a fast move, so Tapu Fini is a core breaker. I didn't, like, at least I hoped that I wouldn't face a thing too often, but at this point of time I can just go ahead and go for some drill runs, trying to get them low. And if I get them low enough, I'm fine. I can swap out into my Giratina now, try to farm them down. This should only be a Surf. Surf doesn't do as much damage anyway, it's resisted, so I'm fine with it. But yeah, this was the first game that I mentioned before. Basically this game is over here already, because I don't even have a shield disadvantage, but what I have here is a Giratina aligned against the Steelix, and you see how little damage I do. They can just farm me all the way down, and this was my Giratina that had the move Ancient Power. Also shiny, which is even cooler, but after this game, this was the first game I played, I swapped to the move Shadow Force, because I thought it most likely going to be a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit better against those Steel types here. If I had Shadow Force here, I definitely had a play, but without Shadow Force, Steel types just hardwall you, and you don't really want to have that happening here, so we're going to still try a little bit. We're going to go into our Kyurem, and we should be able to maybe farm them down. Let's see. They're going to go for a lot of Psychic Fangs, so just going to debuff me the entire way through, but we will be able to farm them down, go for one Glaciate here, trying to see the animation, and we're gonna get the shield from the opponent as we have to forfeit anyway because this game was over. Next opponent, very decent lead for me, but the Save Swap again with Tapu Fini is not really ideal. What is funny though is I will be able to shield up this move here. They actually bait me here with Surf, which is really annoying because it's going to make this matchup a little bit trickier, but they most likely not expect me to go for a Shadow Force here, so goodbye Tapu Fini. This did a ton of damage. I cannot really give up 2 shields here right now, so going to let this move go through. I'm going to let them farm me down a little bit more. They realize that now as well, so then I'm going to go ahead and go for a charge move. Also, I already did some battles for the Halloween Cup before, but I don't really want to upload them now because I'm uploading this video. I had a ton of lag issues there. Did you also encounter this? Let me know in the comment section, it would really be interesting. And while you scroll down there, please leave a like on the video as well. Helps out way more than you think. But here we see a Glaciate going to go onto that Giratina, trying to debuff them. Going to see this Dragonclaw going to hit here, which is fine for me. I can go for one more Dragonclaw here as well on my own. And this will get the final shield by the opponent or knock them out. We're actually going to knock them out, which is better for me, I think. At least I thought. I can only go for one Dragonclaw. Afterwards, I'm going to go down to the opponent's Poison Jab. I can swap into my SCAF, and I still have a move stored here. I can get my counter through. Can we still win this game? They're going to go for the Acid Spray, and sadly, they just reached by one more counter, like before my final counter comes through here. The Dark Pulse to knock me out. Well played by the opponent though. I had a decent lead, but then Tapu Fini is something that's just really, really awkward to deal with this team. So yeah, Kyurem is in general way better anyway for the Master League, but what is kind of cool is to hit Glaciate against Pokemon that are 4 times weak against it. Goodbye Gliscor destroyed its entire family with that as well. As we see the Registeel coming back in here, we can debuff them as well. And it's really cool to debuff them. Like Glaciate is such a cool move, it's such a strong move as well. As we can see here, the Flash Cannon coming through does knock us still out, which is kind of awkward, but we can go ahead and go into our SCAF. We can go for a Drill Run, and let's see if they're going to shield this move up. Yeah or not. They're going to shield it up, which is fine. We can let this move go through because they're debuffed as well. It's going to be a Zap Cannon, and we are not... Oh, we're actually going to get debuffed. Never mind, but we have our Deoxys now against the Giratina. And you know already what's going to happen here. We know already what's going to happen here. Shadow Force is going to have a great time against them. We will see here the opponent going for more Psycho Boost. I don't care about it. We're gonna go for the Shadow Force now, and the Shadow Force will do a nice amount of damage. Actually knocks them out straight away, and we can go ahead and go into the matchup against the Registeel. And you know already what we're going to do here as well. We're going to go straight for the Shadow Force again. I'm not going to swap out here. Shadow Force is just such a funny move to use. We have to use them more often, and we're gonna go... Actually, in the main series games, I think you completely ignore Protect, which would have been cool here as well, but we can still go for a BM now. 2 Shield Flex, plus going for a Mega Horn against the opponent's Registeel, the way to go. Next opponent, we see a Trevenant against us. This is a little bit tricky, kind of the worst lead that you can face here, as your counters are resisted, your Drill Run is resisted, and yeah, Mega Horn is, like, takes a while to get to. I can go ahead and go for one Dragon Claw now against them, gonna get them low. I can go for another one, gonna get them even lower. And I might get some energy advantage now with my Kyurem, so I'm going to let this move go through. It's going to be most likely the Shadow Ball. No, actually, I'm going to shield this move up, never mind. And we see the Charizard coming in. This was the battle I was talking about. I forgot that they get to the Dragon Claw so fast. And now we're going to get down there, and I don't really have an answer for Charizard anymore. We can see how much of Blast we're going to do here. It's going to one-shot me, and this game is over at this point of time anyway, so... Yeah, this was a little bit tricky, and this was actually the second battle I did at all. And of course, then when I didn't have my ancient power anymore, of course I'm gonna get the Charizard against me. Amazing. We will see the opponent's Drapion here against us now. Again, this looks like kind of hard wall for me. Being stuck now with this Drapion matchup is really horrible for my Giratina. There's not a lot that I can do here. I can get 2 Dragon Claws off, but that's basically it, especially as they also debuffed my defenses. Not ideal whatsoever. They're going to knock me out here, and I can go ahead and go into my Escavalier, can take the move, but we are so far behind in this one. Like, there's nothing we can really do here anymore. I'm going to try to farm them all the way down to get the most amount of energy here, but it doesn't really help me too much either. They're going to swap into a Scrafty, and unless they're going to let this move go through, I have 0 chance. And they're going to shield this move up, and I'm just going to forfeit. Scrafty against a Kyurem, I don't really want to bore you with that. This was just hard wall from the get-go. Speaking of hard wall from the get-go, we're in the final game here. We're going to see a Runerigus, and we're going to see a Pidgeot. Here again, Ancient Power would have been nice, but yeah, Runerigus already in the lead there was kinda dead for me already, because like, yeah, I have nothing really to hit this Pokemon. I have my Giratina here, which can still do some damage against Pidgeot. They have to throw one Brave Bird here to knock me out. Let's see if they're going to do it. They are not. Feather Dance is coming through, which is fine, as we can go for our own Dragon Claw, trying to get them lower, and we can go for another one, but they're actually going to go for another charge move here, and I'm going to keep my move now alive. Going to swap into my Kyurem, because my Kyurem is at least neutral against the Pokemon we know already. As we see in Aurorus coming in here, we will be able to go ahead and go for the... They're going to go for the Weather Ball. I'm going to go for the Dragon Claw, trying to get them low enough, as we can go for another charge move afterwards, but I don't know if they're going to shield it. I have to shield their moves now. I have to rely on my Kyurem. I don't know if this is actually working well for me. Let's see, we can go for another Dragon Claw here. Do they shield this move up? They do not shield this move up, and I can farm them down. This allows me to debuff the opponent's Pokemon coming in now, which is going to be the Runerigus. Maybe they let this move go through. They don't know about the Glaciate, but no, they do know about it. And my only play here is now to no shield, because they're debuffed. I kind of have to do it. They're going to go for a Shadow Ball. It's still going to be close though, right? I can go ahead and go for one more charge move here, going to be the Dora, of course. They're going to let this move go through. I expect them to catch. They count basically on the worst possible timing for them. I can go for another move here that should force the opponent's shield, but the thing is, they can just go ahead and go for Phantom at this point of time, so shielding here doesn't make any sense at all. I'm going to go ahead and go into my Giratina, try to go for the Ghost type move, didn't work out. Can go for one Dragon Claw, gonna get them low, but at this point of time, this will sadly be it for this video. I don't get the final move, and I'm going to lose this game. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this showcase, leave a like on it, and I hope I see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.